Hello everyone, welcome back to Nails by Sora. I hope you are doing well. I am doing something. I am doing a little tribute to an upcoming album. Actually, it dropped today. If you are a Taylor Swift fan, as I am, increasingly more and more so, you know that her new album, The Tortured Poets Department, released today. Well, not today as I'm recording, but today as this video is posting. And why am I getting a shadow? I don't usually get a shadow. What's it coming from? I don't know. Is it coming from my camera? I think it's coming from my camera. But anyway, anywho, so I had this idea to have it, to do a manicure having to do with her album. And I want to do kind of like, I've already started off the manicure. I have my nails prepared with a milky white. Unfortunately, there is some yellowing behind it because my nails are growing out and I haven't, filed down to file down through some of the past manicures. But hopefully with the artwork on top, it won't be as noticeable. And it may be somewhat this light anyway, but I digress. I want to do kind of like this smokiness. I'm going to use black marbling ink by Marble Queen. And then I want to have initials and names of various artists through the centuries, female artists specifically. And so I'm going to alternate with some musical notes and symbols, and then their names and the title of the album, and also a quote from, I don't remember the name of the artist that wrote this. I wrote it down the other day. The lake is blue, the forest watchful. I'll have to look up who that quote was from. But yeah, so that's going to be this manicure for today. I'm going to do my left hand on camera. I'm going to zoom out because now you can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to do my left hand on camera and my right hand off camera, and I will come back to show you what I come up with. But first I want to start with doing kind of the musical notes and symbols and writing in all of the details, and then I'm going to go in and do the smoky marbling after the fact, so that it kind of goes over and occludes and somewhat hides, so things go in and out of the design and it has more depth and interest. So let's get started. I'm going to leave this off to the side so that I can reference it. And so I have 2 coats of milky white from Nails by Dev. Why do I keep... Okay, let's move this forward because I keep bringing the bottle down here and then you can't see it. So 2 coats of the highlight gel, which is like a milky white from Nails by Dev. And then I have a coat of velvet matte top coat. But I'm going to go in and do some of the designs with the black gel paint. And the reason why I used a matte top coat is because, for one, it's easier to draw on a non-shiny surface. And the matte top coat doesn't have an inhibition layer, so that helps also. And then also, once I go into using the marble inks, it's better to use it on a matte background so that the pigment soaks into the polish. So I'm going to start off with some musical notes. Actually, let me use a dotting tool to start to make things easier. So this does not actually make any of the songs. These are just random notes. So don't try to decipher what the notes mean. They don't mean anything. So 2 circles, and actually the next one will be an outline. I was in a lot of musical classes when I was younger. I took piano and violin and flute. This is too thick. What am I even doing with my life? So yes, I took violin, piano, flute. Honestly, if I had a dime for every time I got a phone call as I start recording, I would be as rich as Taylor Swift right now. So I am starting over because I'm tired of having to all of a sudden dub in what I'm doing after the fact. I want to actually tell you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So I believe I was saying I've taken a lot of musical classes. I was in chorus. I played various instruments, and I'm familiar with musical notes and charts. I don't remember how to read music. I couldn't tell you what notes were what. But I get extreme enjoyment out of music and the musical industry. And I love Taylor Swift. Every time I read another story about her or listen to another song, whether it's a new album drop or her re-releasing her older music, I'm, more and more impressed. Especially now that I'm older and I'm listening to the lyrics and I see, everything that she's been through and what she's, written about. She's just very impressive, an amazing example of what you can do. So that being said, I'm just going to start painting in the notes. I want to do a whole note right here. A whole note is not filled in. And I believe it sometimes has a line through it. So I'm going to do that. And this one's going to have the 2 lines at the top, which I don't remember why it has those. This one's going to have one at the bottom. I'm going to try to take some paint off of the notes because I don't want the notes to be raised, although I'm going to be doing several layers of clear on top of it, so it shouldn't really matter. I feel like the line for this note is going crooked. But I'm very excited for this new album. I don't think I've ever actually purchased an album when it's right away. When it's dropped, I usually didn't really start listening to Taylor Swift until after she released Folklore. So I think this is the first one I'll actually be able to listen to as soon as it drops. All right, so I'm going to cure this. I'm considering doing the lines of a, what's it called? A staff? The 5 lines, I think is referred to as a staff. I'll have to look it up. But I'm thinking about doing it waving up the line. Waving up the line? Curving up the nail. But we'll see. I have to think about it. So I'm going to cure this. I'm going to put in a few extra things. The G clef and then the initials and names of various poets, and then we're going to get into the smoky effect. Oh my god, I am never going to get this manicure done. So it's a half hour later. I got pulled away for another reason, and while I was otherwise engaged, I was looking at my nail and decided that I didn't like the fact that the notes were all in line with each other. So I'm going to go ahead with my idea to put in the staff, if that's what it's called. And so I'm going to do that first. I'm going to try to do it as lightly as possible. In fact, I think instead of doing jet black, I'm going to use the shadow gel from Nails by Dev. Sorry, I'm cleaning off my brush right now because I really don't want it to stand out too much. I want it to kind of be background. So I'm going to put some on my palette. I'm about to be interrupted again. Sorry, I'm having an online conversation with someone. But I'm going to go at an angle. And the musical staff has 5 lines. So I'm going to draw those in and cure them. Having a feeling this will be a long night. Alright, so I've switched brushes to an even longer liner because I was having trouble getting the really thin lines that I was going for. And initially I didn't like the fact that it was trailing off into nothingness, but I think that kind of adds to the smoky wispiness that I'm going for. So I'm going to continue on and do it on some other nails to continue the theme across at kind of an angle, and then figure out how I'm going to add in the other components. So basically, I think I'm going to skip my pointer finger, or maybe I'll do my pointer finger and my ring finger. So basically just using the very tip of the brush and dragging it down so that the color fades off. Don't be afraid to pick up your brush and put it back down if you feel like you're going at an angle that you don't want. And also, as you've watched me do, you could always wipe it off and start over again. Alright, so I've done my pointer finger and my ring finger. The ring finger is a little bit lighter and thinner than on my pointer finger, but that's okay. It can be more in the forefront, more in the background, but now we're going to go into doing some hand lettering. So I'm going to pull up the names to make sure I spell them correctly. Of course, first and foremost, I want to do the logo. I was going to do Taylor Swift's initials, but I think I want to do the logo for the album for Tortured Poets Department. So I'm going to put some gel paint on my palette to pull from. That way I can thin it out a little bit. And I think I want to put it on, I was initially going to have it on my pointer finger, but I think I want to have it on the middle nail. So let's see. We're going to go with the top of the T. Bring down a straight line for the P. How big do I want to make this? That's the question. Do I want it to be a little bit smaller? Let's have its center mass. P comes down at a curve. belly of the D goes around to the P. And I need to pull the T over a bit, which means it's not going to be centered on the nail, which means I have to start all over. I think I need to start with the P. So we've got the top of the P. Okay, so I've now done this 5 times. It is cured, it is ready, it is centered, and I am mostly happy with it. What is this shadow over here? It is driving me insane. Is it on the lens? Hold on one moment. It was actually something that was stuck to the lens. Lovely. Anyway, so I've gone and made another mental change as to what I want to do. I figured I'd have this hand be a Taylor Swift dedicated hand and this hand be a hand dedicated to other poets, other female poets. So on my pinky, I'm going to write lyrics from one of the songs, which obviously, as of recording this, I don't know. But with the 9 second, something like that, 9-second video that was released, where it has lyrics to one of her songs, I'm going to include that. So All's Fair in Love and Poetry. I'm going to write on my pinky, of course, the smallest finger that I have to write on. How am I going to position my hand? Why do I do this to myself?
Never understand the things that we want, but you keep coming back. I want love you don't know, so why are you here? Yeah, I should take it back so that you don't know where my heart is at. Don't want you to know my love is all.
All right, moving back to the musical notes.
There's only one thing left to do. My heart is breaking, wanting you, so I'll say goodbye. Let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say I'll say goodbye. Yeah, don't call me back, just say goodbye. I can't change the past, don't wanna complicate things. Maybe if I asked, was any of it real? Was it real? There's only one thing left to do. My heart is breaking, wanting you, so I'll say goodbye. Let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying.
All right, so we have our logo and our musical notes and bars and our quote, which I think I managed to blur. I thought I cured this before I moved on. Let's try to fix this into legible letters. Alright, so now we're going to start in on the marbling, which I'm going to just shake this up a bit because I don't think I've ever actually used the black and the pigment may have settled a bit. So if you've never used marbling inks or alcohol inks, you want to get a brush, preferably a watercolor brush, any size. I usually use this one, but I might go a little bit smaller. And even though they're called alcohol inks, you want to use acetone, which has all but evaporated because I put it into the jar when I started filming 3 friggin' hours ago. So we're going to put some more in. And I am going to use this brush and this alcohol ink. You want to use acetone because it's what's going to remove the color from the nail. Alcohol is what the ink is dispersed in, but in order to move it on the nail, you want to use acetone. Like so. And just kind of play with it however you want. There's no rhyme or reason, it's just fun. And you can take acetone and dab it on and then pull it off the excess liquid with the brush. And just keep going until you get a pattern or a feeling that you like, and then you can stop. You don't need to cure it because it's not a UV pigment. You just want to try to get rid of some of the harsh lines that are around the edge of the nail, because then it looks like it was an abrupt stop and unintentional. Then you could always go back in. I don't think I want to add more to this side of the nail because I like the way it kind of disperses. But you could always add more in wherever you want. You can thin out the line as much as you want with the acetone and create these veins. I think that's pretty good for that nail. So I'm going to move on to the next nail. If you didn't want to use the bottle brush, you could always just use your watercolor brush, pick up some pigment, brush it on. By the way, it should be said that I love the way these alcohol inks smell. There's like a sweet perfumey essence to them. And it's just, there's so many things in the nail industry that smell pretty bad, and these smell really, really good.
Never understand the things that we want. Why do you keep coming back? I want love you don't know. So why are you here? Yeah. I should take it back so that you don't know where my heart is at. Don't want you to know my love is lost. Well, there's only one thing left to do. My heart is breaking, wanting you, so I'll say goodbye. Let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say I'll say goodbye. Yeah, don't call me back, just say goodbye. I can change the past, don't wanna complicate things. Maybe if I asked, was any of it real? Was it real? There's only one thing left to do. My heart is breaking, wanting you, so I'll say goodbye. Let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say.
All right, so now at this point you'll want to top coat it because we are finished with the left hand. And I just realized I have to do writing on my right hand. Lovely. I do feel like I want to make the black of the logo a little bit more prominent. So I'm going to go over that and cure it. Before I go ahead and top coat. So I am going to base coat and top coat because I feel like I'll get better adhesion that way between the matte top coat and the glossy top coat to have that extra sticky layer of base between the two. All right, I swear one of these days I'm going to do a video that doesn't take me 5 hours. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I've got Taylor on my left hand. I've got other female poets on my right hand. Taylor Swift is definitely a poet. There's no doubt about that with her lyricism. And if any of you know, or if all of you know, or none of you know, or some of you know, or she is distantly related to Emily Dickinson, which is why I have her on my middle finger. with the artist herself. She is a direct descendant through her father's line of Emily Dickinson. So I think that's very fitting, and I do love the way this manicure came out. I hope you do too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. The information for the products I used will be in the description box below as well. I would love it if you have any ideas for future videos. Please drop them down below. As always, I want to create content that you want to see, not just content that I enjoy creating, because at the end of the day, these videos are for you, whether they're tutorials or art pieces or just, you know, whatever current fad there is in the nail tech industry, or what it's like to be a nail tech officially now, what it was like to go to school. I will be posting another video of, I think the other one's gone live. It may not have gone live yet. I'm posting a video of what I made my first week rather, as a professional nail tech. And I will be posting subsequent videos as I continue on in the industry. But yeah, definitely let me know what you thought of this video, what you'd like to see in the future. And I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining me, and hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell so that you always know when new videos are available. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.